So now the SwissIX.
Yeah, so I now put on my...
Okay.
So, I'm Arnold Nipper. Hi. And this is the first time I'm here and do the SwissIX update. You probably have seen me doing DKIX updates for several years. I'm still with DKIX. I'm also happy with DKIX. But I'm also on the SwissIX board since February last year. And yeah, we wanted to do an update on SwissIX. I also have Matthias with me. Matthias, please stand up. And Sebastian, where are you? So Sebastian is also happy to answer any question in French. I cannot do it. And I also have Urs here. Urs, where are you? Urs is here. Yeah. So, and they asked me to do the update because they said you do it all the time and you also can do it. So, what is SwissIX? So I called it, SwissIX is an old-timer with a new powerful engine under the hood. So looking back, we had our general meeting last Friday, and we also had a party over there. SwissIX was founded in 2001 and is within one of the oldest internet exchanges in Europe. It's organized as an association, and currently we have 237 members and participants doing 500 gigabits of peak and 300 gigabits average. We have a so-called freemium model. That means the 1 gig ports are still free, and if you want to have more bandwidth, 10 gigabits, 100 gigabits, you have to pay for. There is a Google Docs document on the internet where I guess Joop and some others do or rank the pricing between the different IXPs. I do not know, is it worldwide, Europe-wide, and SwissIX definitely has still a very competitive pricing. What SwissIX also did is, in the early days, the board also ran the technical operation, and then they found out it's too much, and then they outsourced the technical operation. And what they also did now is they were looking for a new organization to run the operations. So, and what were the outsourcing goals? So the old partner, it was, how do you call it, system house? No, system partner who also does outsourcing for enterprises, but was not specially or specialized on IXP operation. Therefore, the idea already came out years ago was, okay, the partner must have experience with an IXP and should actively and verifiably manage this market. This means they were looking for an IXP operator running the technical infrastructure. We also wanted to have 24/7 operation and support with guaranteed response time. The SwissIX must remain the owner of the platform and has full control of all components and configuration, at least in the event of an emergency. A vendor lock-in should be avoided, and an exit strategy for the event of economic difficulties for the partners involved must be in place before the start of the replacement. What we also wanted to have is the certainty that with the new operators that we have a plan for at least 5 years. And the location and ownership of any data should remain entirely with SwissIX. We also want to be future-proof, not only for the platform, but also for the services. That means further services comparable to the neighboring IXPs should be easy implemented. And the replacement must be possible with a reasonable time frame with available human resources of SwissIX. And this is the new SwissIX topology. I guess it's way too small that you really can understand it. So, but we will provide these slides, and then you can have closer look into that. Basically, what has been done is it's complete new fibers for the platform. There are 2 cores. There are 400 gigabit core bandwidths, upgradable, easily upgradable, and each of the what's called edge switches, edge routers, has fully redundant connection to both core sites. The new hardware is Nokia, and the VPLS was migrated to an enhanced EVPN, and we now have BERT route service, and it's planned as soon as the operator also is able to write open BGPD to replace one of the BERT route servers with open BGPD. The new self-service portal, which gives the ability of enhanced black holing. That means black holing not only on layer 3, but also on layer 4. And you will also have enhanced statistics. What we can see, this is the band traffic before and after. So with the EVPN, what also was introduced is a proxy app for or proxy agent for V4 and V6. So the agent sits already on the edge device, and there is a table with IP V4 or IP address and MAC binding, and the device already answers all of the traffic. So that way, there is less, of course, ARP traffic and neighbor discovery traffic, and also there is no chance to do a proxy ARP anymore. The overall finding is planning is key, not that everyone knew about it. Tell exactly what you want, and the other said, reflect really what you understood. What we also found out is a clash of culture. So SwissIX compared to DKIX, both in what you have to know what we want, and they said, oh, you should have tell us, and so on and so on. And I have to say, it's really, last year both for SwissIX and DKIX were really hard, but in the end, if both sides want, we can make it work. Also, on the one hand, there was Swiss law, on the other hand, there were German laws, and this was also difficult to figure out. The migration itself went very smooth, thanks to also Urs, who did a tremendous job there. So what will SwissIX 23 look like? So I said we had the general meeting. Vivi is no longer the president. Matthias volunteered to be the president, and we have a new board member, which is Reto Grunder from Green. Now that the technical operation is secured, what we are looking into is a business development, marketing, customer care manager who takes care of that. This position is still open. If you know anyone or if you are interested, please send an email or an application to info@swissix.ch. What the board is doing, we have strategy meetings to set the direction also for the newly to be hired general manager. And that's it from my side, and I'm in time.
Very much.
So for questions, I'm happy to answer them, but Matthias will definitely be the better person to answer these questions. Any questions about it? There is. So still don't forget to talk loud and clearly.
Sure. Couple of questions. A couple of comments.
One after the other, please.
I think one thing that was maybe feedback for the board, open feedback, I think something that was missed is that, yes, there's an outsourcing, but part of what makes SwissIX is that it's Swiss. It supports the Swiss industry, talent, knowledge. With the outsourcing agreement to DENOG, we lose that within Switzerland. We don't have local companies. We're not developing local talent. We're not supporting the local industry. So that's one thing. With that, there's
so
also...
This is not a question.
Comments.
Okay.
With that, there's also why were certain components changed away from things like OpenBSD? We've now got a closed source peering manager. What was the technical rationale there to replace existing things that were working with things that are looking at the peering manager, half broken, not quite working, a little bit confusing? What was the rationale there with sort of keeping the
I answer that
components?
question. The simple rationale behind is because the company which does the outsourcing now does not run the IXP manager. And it was way easier for them to integrate it to that what they are doing. And the SwissIX board was happy with that.
Okay. Last question. You're employed by DENOG, correct?
Excuse me?
But you're employed by DENOG?
I'm an employee of DENOG, yes.
So you're also on the board of SwissIX. Any future decisions that are made by SwissIX could potentially benefit you financially or benefit DENOG? Is there no sense of the Swiss neutrality, being impartial with your position on the board and also being an employee of the primary subcontractor?
The decision to go with DENOG was also made before I was on the board. On the other hand, I'm a personal member of SwissIX for years, and therefore I think I can be split beside DENOG and SwissIX. I have to say, my heart is, I founded DENOG, and I have worked for DENOG, and I still work for DENOG for several years. On the other hand, my heart is for internet exchanges, regardless of DENOG, SwissIX, or name them.
Sure. Okay. And with some of the renaming of all the things in the portals and whatnot, and calling some of the points DENOG Zurich #2 and whatnot, is there plans for DENOG to extend the reach and take over more of SwissIX?
Maybe, sorry if I'm interrupting, but maybe this is kind of a discussion now. So maybe you could discuss.
So on any question regarding DENOG, as far as I've seen, there's a DENOG representative here as well. Please ask him. I can tell you.
Sure.
Because I don't know. Okay, any questions? As said, if you have any questions about SwissIX, Matthias is there, Sebastian is also there. If you have technical questions, Urs will be happy to answer them as well. And I, of course, too.
Thank you very much, Arnold.